Welcome back to SpatialNnachi GIS Series. In the last class, we explored the ArcGIS interface and understood how to navigate ArcMap. In today's lesson, we take the next big step. We are going to create our first GIS map using real data. And by the end of this class, you should be able to load spatial data, organize layers, symbolize features, label maps, and produce a clean GIS map of Nigeria. Let's get started. First, we start by adding our spatial data into ArcMap. I will click on the Add Data, then navigate to my folder where I have my Nigeria shapefiles. I'm going to be adding the state boundary. I'm going to be adding the local government boundaries. I'm also going to be adding the regions that we have in Nigeria. So now ArcMap loads the layers into the table of contents on the left hand side. Each layer represents a different geographic feature. In this case, we have regions, local governments, and states. These are called layers. In GIS, each data set is represented as a layer, just like transparent sheets packed on top of each other. I can turn layers on and off using the checkboxes. For example, I can turn off local government areas, focus only on Nigerian states. I can turn off states and focus only on local government or only on region. Layer ordering is very important. Layers at the top will appear above layers below. Now, let's improve the appearance of our map using symbology. Symbology simply means how features are visually represented on the map. Now, we have states, and in this particular states, they are the same color. The only difference are the state boundaries. To change symbology, I'll right-click on the layer, go to Properties, then I'll go to Symbology. I can choose categories of unique values to assign different colors to each state or region. This helps us distinguish between different geographical areas easily. For instance, I can use different colors and add values to everything and apply. When you apply, it just means you can look at what it is. So this is what symbology does. I've used color to differentiate the different states that we have, and it has changed the look of the map. Like I said earlier, it helps us distinguish between different geographical areas easily. Now, it applies for you to look at it very well, and if you're okay with it, you click OK. And the next is labeling features. Label helps us display the names of each geographic feature directly on the map. I will turn on labels for Nigerian states, so each state name can appear on the map. We'll also right click here and come to label features. Label features. Now you see that all the names of the states are labeled where they are. This is very useful in interpretation and presentation of GIS maps. In our first class, we looked at these navigation tools: zoom into a particular place, zoom out from a particular place as well. And we have the pan. The pan tool allows me to move across the map without changing the scale of the map. We also have attributes. Now let's open the attribute table layer of the state and see what is there. We also right click on the state and we right click on it and you see open attribute table. For the states, the only thing in the attribute table is the names of the states and their regions. The attribute table contains descriptive information about each feature. Each row represents a feature such as state, that's the administrative name, region. Each column represents a property such as the state names, the regions where the states are located, and all. So Lagos is not just a shape on the map, it also has data attached to it. In our local government area map, which is this particular one, we have more attributes in both the column and the rows. We have population density 1998, 1990, the area, and all. So this is what the attributes table tells us about. You can also use the identify tool, like I explained in our last class. If I click any state, it gives me the details of the state instantly. This is Sokoto and is in Northwest. And that is what how we use all these basic attributes for inspections. Lastly, we're going to be looking at the map scale and interpretation. If you see my mouse as it moves, there is a particular place down here where my cursor is. This is the coordinates of each point on the map in decimal degrees. This tells us the relationship between map distance and the real world distance. Scale is very important in GIS because it affects accuracy and interpretation. Now I would want us to check out the layout view because this view is the data view. I'd like us to check the layout view where I said we embellish map. Now this is our map. It's in a portrait form, map of Nigeria showing different states. We can zoom out and zoom in bit by bit. You can also change this from a portrait to a landscape. But right now, I just want to show us how we work on producing maps using symbology, labels, and every other thing that needs to be imputed to make a map and not just a picture. So this is where we prepare our map for presentation and printing. Now, insert, we have title. Let us quickly put the title of the map and we'll call it Map of Nigeria. Map of Nigeria, right? That is it up here. And we have what we call legend. Let's insert it. Legend shows different states because that's what we have here. I just want states. I don't want local government or regions. Let's have it. Here you could change the color, the lettering, and the font size. I need a background 0.5. It's okay. You can play with it. This is where you manipulate your data to get what you want. The gap from the border to the legend, and if you want to round it around the bounding box to finish, and it gives you, you can see it here, it gives you the legend of everything that we have. It's the legend of the 36 bits that we have. Then we have the north arrow. The north arrow, like I said, shows us orientation. North arrow, we put it and these here. But ordinarily, our map supposed to be separate from from every other thing. So I'm trying to fit in. This is what you'll be facing when you are trying to embellish a map. Must make sure everything enters inside the frame. So we have our not arrow, we have our title. Our title isn't even supposed to be the map. Yeah, the title. Let's just reduce this a little. So we have our map. Uh, so everything is just placement, arrangement, basically. So we've added this. You can still insert scale bar because a map without a scale, just like a drawing, have scale. We can look at the properties of the scale. This is what we call manipulating the data to get what we need to get. The scale of this scale is in miles, so we can change it to kilometers, number of these. This is more advanced depending on how you want your scale to appear. And we have our scale, kilometers. What do we have again? Insert. We have scale text, um, legend, not arrow scale, title. I think so. This is it, basically. So this is how we make a map. You realize that none of the marginal information is inside the map, but it is in a frame. I think the last thing we haven't put here is our, what do you call it? Our coordinates, our grid. If you want to get your grid, you click on the map itself, then right click, go to properties, um, the grid comes out. So we choose our grid. Helps to give a map orientation. Let me take measured grid so that I don't waste time. Labels only. Look at this part. Labels only just shows you the labels. Tick only goes ahead to show you the intersection with ticks. And this is beautiful for your reference and in case you need to replicate the map and get another feature out of it. And this is grid with labels. But for now, I'll just be working on labels only in decimal degrees. And if apply it, okay. But if you look at around the bounding box for Nigeria, you will realize that the grid lines are there. So this is basically how we utilize symbology and create a map. Unlike data view, layout view is focused on map design and uh, presentation. If data view is where we work, layout view is where we present. So this is how a map is going to appear. And you can go further to use print preview, have an idea of what the map is going to look like. Now, at this stage, you already have a basic GIS map of Nigeria with organized layers, labels, and symbology. In future lessons, we will improve this map by adding analysis, better styling, and exporting it as a professional map layout. So before, let me even just show you how we export. The next lesson, it could be an extra note. You just export map, um, click on file and export. You look for a project, Nigeria project. Here we have it. I think I have one map already, so let me just change it. Let's save it as K or Wally and replace it. And that map has been saved. So if I would love to show you what the map looks like, Wally, this is the map that we just created. So that's how to create the first GIS map using ArcGIS. We explored adding data, managing layers, symbology, labeling, navigation, attribute tables, layout view. In the next class, we'll go deeper into working with layers and symbology. Make your maps more professional. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. See you in the next class. Thank you.